remix.
Bachelor Nation, will you accept this rose? We love you. Love is in the air. It's magic. 'Cause love is on the air. On TV. So love is on the air. Podcast. It's a podcast. Podcast. Love is in the air. It's magic. 'Cause love is on the air. On TV. So love is on the air. A podcast. It's a podcast featuring Andy, Sarah, and Glenn. Bachelor Pod, it's the Bachelor Pod, it's a podcast about the Bachelor.
Will you accept this podcast?
Hello everyone, it's hot outside, it's also hot on the beach, and everybody's parts are touching, hopefully.
Yes, thank you. Cheers. That cheers you're hearing is real life actual wine. Rosé. And how did it take us this long to drink wine on this podcast?
I don't know. Me and Andy were sitting there, and Kevin and Astrid were having that weird fake TV date. And I was like, we should drink rosé today on the thing. And we were sitting there on our blow-up mattress that we've been sleeping on because it's so hot in our room. And Andy said, why not just have rosé right now? And I thought, yeah. A
daytime summer rosé.
A daytime summer rosé. So we actually felt like we were in paradise in that moment on our blow-up mattress.
Did you put sticks all around your TV?
No, because we had an actual TV.
Yeah, we had a real TV. We didn't need the sticks, it turned out.
Sure. Are Andy and I a bit softer than Astrid and Kevin?
A bit softer?
Just a bit.
No way.
Just a bit.
I'm as rock hard as Kevin went.
Sure,
you better believe
me
it.
Me too. Just don't watch the video and just believe that I am as hard rock as Astrid.
And I am as Crystal.
Wait, you're as hard rock as she is? You're probably a bit more hard rock than she is. You're more metal than Astrid.
Oh,
I think.
I'm more metal than Astrid.
Yeah, I'm more metal than... I'm not more metal than Kevin. Kevin's got a lot of tattoos.
Yeah,
what does he? What do you mean?
He's honest.
He's got the Crazy Town stars on his shoulders, like the guy from Crazy Town, who is now dead.
Yeah,
he is.
He is Kevin. I don't know if any. Let's just go right into my gossip corner a bit. I've been
off the top. Sarah's itching to get into the gossip corner, so let's hear it, guys. Welcome to the Bachelor Pod. We're doing Bachelor in Paradise here, and here is Sarah's gossip corner.
Aren't you gonna do a song about it?
I was about to do it. Sorry. That's what I was about to do there. That's cool. That's fine. Guess what? It's Sarah's gossip corner, and it's time to talk that goss. Spilling tea.
I'm spilling that tea. I mean, do I have actual, real gossip? I don't know. But I have some stuff.
You better have something.
Yeah. So Kevin, if you've been watching on his Instagram, if anyone's in Toronto, go to the Budweiser stage and go to concerts. Because you know who's always there? Kevin.
Kevin went.
He's always there. I guess he has a deal with Budweiser, or he has a deal with some ticket company or something.
Oh.
And so he's always there. And we also found out a comedian, Courtney Gilmore, that we know, she went to high school with him. So I'm going to investigate and see if I can get some info. But she said that he was really a cool kid in high school. And so she wasn't really part of that crowd. So she didn't really get to know him.
Well, Courtney's a great comedian.
She's
so everyone go check her out on YouTube and stuff. Yeah.
And actually, she has a GoFundMe right now. She's getting a prosthetic leg. It's like her dream leg. Yeah. So donate to that. I just did this week. So if you go on her Instagram, the GoFundMe link is in her Instagram. So
there you go. A little bit of a plug there for Courtney's leg. Sure, why not?
Great. Yeah. And what else? Oh, everybody after last week and this week are going hard on Chris and Leo. Chris is getting it hard on Instagram from fans, saying how disgusting they think he is and how he could say the things he said and do the things he did. And then Leo stopped the commenting on his Instagram. He doesn't allow it anymore. Oh. And some other things.
And then Becca M, she is
going hard.
Yeah. She's like, Leo. Now do you
believe his victims?
Yeah, of course.
After that. And Tanner tweeted... I like rats better than I like snakes, because Leo had called Grocery Joe a rat. And so then Leo went after Tanner, just saying, how about you come fight me in a boxing match in LA, and whoever wins donates $5,000 to some charity. And then Tanner wrote, how about we just donate $5,000 for you to get therapy?
Huge comeback. Massive burn. Also, but do you think Do you think Tanner knows about Chris and being a snake? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's why I found that interesting, and I was so close to tweeting back at Tanner.
You're like, do you
Yeah,
know?
so you
Watch
know
this.
about him being a snake, Chris being a snake, I guess.
the amulet.
So
and
you're not
the
even
basket
like. I
and
guess
everything.
Leo doesn't
Eating
even
the-
get that
eating the
Tanner
crabs.
isn't referring to Leo. He's referring
He's
to
referring to
Chris.
Chris. Yeah.
So
So it's strange for Leo to get involved, really.
oh really? Yeah,
Unless
very
Leo
strange.
has some sort of stake in finding the amulet.
I mean, that would have probably helped him stay.
That's probably why he was so
that's
angry.
kind of it. But if this was easy stuff to find out, obviously it was just all on Instagram. But it's just funny to see the fighting between people and Tanner getting so much attention. Oh, also, I guess like a week ago, Trump said something about what's the word
Certainly
when
not
you
the
tattle?
Bachelor and
No, wait.
Oh.
Sarah just giving us an update on
Snitch.
Twitter in
He
general
says
now.
Snitches
Snitch.
are something or whatever.
Snitches get stitches?
Snitches get stitches or something.
Did Trump say that?
Something like that. It was something about a snitch. It
I
said
wouldn't put it
snitches-
past him that he
Yeah.
did say that.
Yeah, and then Leo was like, "Yep," like agreed to Trump's tweet. So that's the kind of man we're dealing with. here.
Also, I just want to point out that Chris kept tweeting at Leo like earlier in the season before Leo was on, just being like, hey man, I'm wearing that thing because it's the Argentinian flag, man. Like I'm just representing my Argentinian brothers. Like Leo Dottavio knows what I'm talking about. And it's like, you saw everything he did and you're still like buddies with him?
Oh, there's tons of guys
What the
that
fuck
are
is wrong
like
with
Connor
you?
still talks to him on his Instagram.
I'll tell you something I
saw
knew from the very start. Connor's shit.
Connor shit.
Connor sucks.
Connor sucks.
I didn't know.
What do you like from
I
the moment he
know,
whipped that
I
picture? You're like,
forgot.
this guy. That's a
I
huge
know.
red
He's a
flag.
handsome man.
Handsome
I will
man.
say that he's
So-
definitely my type.
But Tia's right about him. He's a douche.
Yeah,
He's a
she
douche.
is right.
She's right.
I
She's
love
right.
that.
Making
So-
fun of them eating hot dogs?
Yes.
What?
Sucks. Hot dogs, you know what? I don't even eat meat,
Don't
but
judge,
hot
man.
dogs, they're very good.
Very good.
I mean, I like veggie dogs. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Don't
so let's get
Don't
in.
judge.
Don't judge hot
Don't
dogs.
judge. Anyways, he should. Don't judge.
Will we do? Shall we do a bit of a quick amulet wrap up?
Yes, let's do
Oh, yeah,
amulet
let's do a
wrap
quick
up.
amulet wrap
Let's do and then our other hashtag Chris stupid headband.
Did that catch on?
Oh, it did.
Oh,
We've
it
got
did?
some-
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Stupid
we've got some
headband.
tweets.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
so Andy will get into that.
Okay, we'll get into that.
So first, let's get to this one on our Twitter.
So we have one entry for where's the amulet this week,
Yeah,
Oh, two.
which is
we have two. That's right.
we have two.
Maggie
Okay,
has one.
great. Okay, we have two. So which is fair. You know, we've all put in our amulet theories at this point, and so you know, there's just a few more trickling in here. At Zen Reality over on Twitter, there says the amulet must be hidden in the gigantic dog plush chicken gave Jenna. Jordan came out of nowhere to save the universe, but had to play it off that it was jealousy over the forming love triangle.
Whoa!
Here's the thing I'm going to say about that. I don't believe it just because Jordan's dirt shit. So I don't think he would ever be saving the world. He would keep it for himself. He would go in and get it, and he wouldn't throw it away.
Jordan is the most interesting person I think I've ever seen on the show, because at times he seems so in control of what's going on and like saying the right things and acting like a cool person, and then just the exact opposite sometimes.
And the opposite for me is the shit.
Yeah, it is total shit, but I think he's like just really immature, and he hasn't like there's I think
too
he's
old to be
capable.
this immature.
I know, I agree, but I think he's capable of turning it
Here-
around. I hope he does.
Here are
anyways.
my dark moments for him that are kind of unforgivable in my... The way he was talking with Chris about the women with the dates and how they were lining
Yes.
up all the dice, that was disgusting. I
Yeah.
hated that. And we rarely see that on this
Yes.
show. So to have, on such like kind of a gross show, have something be that dark and gross on it, I hated it. So since then, I've just hated him. And of course, the violent tea moments that he gets.
Yes, of course.
So
yes.
those two things for me, I just think he's shit, dirt shit.
Yeah, it's tough to argue with that, but there's something else. He's got like something in him. He's like
got
Darth
character.
Vader. He's like I see the good in him, but he wiped out all the
He's very
Jedi.
Game of Thrones. He's
no,
very
sorry,
Game of Thrones.
no, Star Wars.
No, he's very
Star
Game
Wars.
of Thrones
no,
as well.
Darth Vader's from Star Wars.
I know, Andy. Shut up. He's very Game of Thrones. The way everything goes back and forth. Like with Game of Thrones, you like
That's
hate
true.
Cersei,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
you love her, and then
Yeah,
you
yeah.
hate her, and
That's
then you
true.
think she's good, and then she's bad. It warps your mind. Like
True.
Joffrey at one point, I'm like, oh, Okay. Oh wait, no. What was I thinking?
What? Were you ever into Joffrey?
There was a moment where Joffrey, you're like, you felt for him. You're like, oh, he's this like young kid and he's piece of. But then you saw how evil he was, and they switched it on you.
Anyways, let's get the next. Where's the amulet going?
Okay, then we've got my friend Chanel again back on Instagram responding to our idea that Will's was a cheetah.
Oh yeah.
Because right, and then she says,
"There's one of those, lot of animal
kitty
print."
face. He has a
she
kitty
says,
face.
"Girl, your podcast buds were so close to realizing the truth about Will's, but since they didn't, I'll just tell you, Will's is a panther who took the amulet because he's too good for BIP and because they would just misuse the power the amulet can provide."
Yeah.
And then I responded with like a surprised face emoji.
Oh, okay, sure.
And then she replied with Wakanda forever.
Ah,
So,
the Panther, right, right,
yeah.
Black Panther, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
He was the real Black Panther.
He might. I mean,
That would be incredible.
But also,
Might be.
what a bummer that he had to leave the first episode.
Yeah.
true.
I still
bummer.
miss him.
See, this is where you want that. I mean, we said it. I said it already
The
before.
wild card.
You want a wild card, but this is also where you want those Paradise Hotel rules, and you can just bring back old people.
Yeah.
That would be fine.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go to our next hashtag, which is Chris Stupid Headband.
So it was hashtag Chris Stupid Headband.
Yeah. Here we go. We are getting it up. I know we had some peeps. We had some fun stuff.
Okay.
I think we had more than this too, but maybe people. Gave
Maybe
different
some
hashtags.
people, Chris, maybe
Chris
just.
is.
Well, let's see this.
Okay,
first.
so we got two here right away. We got Chris Rutt 0504, Chris Rutledge, our girl, always on Twitter. Shout outs to Chris. She goes, hashtag Chris Stupid Headband. The headband acts as a location detector for the amulet. During the daytime, when the sun's rays hit it at just the right angle, Chris can hear the amulet calling to him. That's why the crabs have to keep moving it every day.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
I love how deep Chris is into the lore about everything.
I love it very much. How
Oh
God, heavy
that's
this
very,
season is.
that's very, very good. Then we have Lauren at El May Nation. Lauren goes, "I'm certain this is a Voldemort situation, a la Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Chris is hiding the Dark Lord, or a similarly evil power, under his headband. He's also the giant serpent in the Chamber of Secrets. So he is also the basilisk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Okay, now one where maybe it's just Chris Stupid Headband.
So I have another one from Ellen to Do's.
Oh yeah, our girl Ellen Two Do's.
I bet the spell book is in French. That's why Benoit is here.
Oh.
Yuki holds the key.
Ooh.
The Mexican crabs have the amulet, and together they can all break this international curse.
It's more like a team thing. Like you
Wow.
More
need
of a
different. You need like a
team
team effort there. Okay, sure.
Um,
Well, guys, we always love talking about the amulet. Where is the amulet? What's going on with the amulet? What's happening with Chris and his? If you're just catching up now, Chris is a snake that roams the beach at night with a human face that covers his snake face. So
yeah,
that's
his face.
Yeah, it's his face, but he's searching for the amulet so that he can control his
And decide.
sort of were snake powers.
Yeah, I also have a question for Maggie.
Okay.
I want to know where Jersky Gurge is.
Oh.
What are they up to? What's happening with them?
It's just
Grocery George. It's
Oh my
just
God, Nikki.
Grocery
This was-
George.
This was
Wow.
not set up.
No, this is not set up. This is when you think
Grocery George.
this is where you
Wow,
think you're
the
not
new
gonna get
characters keep
you're,
popping
you're
in.
not gonna get anything else out of the joke. And then Maggie comes bam through with another huge entry. It's just Grocery George.
Okay. Anyway.
Grocery Store Joe's
Gross-
like main enemy.
Yeah.
Like number
Grocery
one
George.
arch enemy,
Oh.
arch nemesis, Grocery George.
Grocery
He always
George.
gets to the fruit stuff
Oh, he's
before
gotta-
Joe does,
yeah, he's
and
gotta-
Joe gets all the shit.
And he's a lot nicer to his employees, I'll tell you
Oh,
that.
All
Okay,
right,
Andy.
Andy. You know what? We don't have too long, so we better jump right into it.
That's
Yeah.
true, we better get into it
Packed
here.
to 4 hours of television.
Yeah, that's right.
So it begins, if you'll remember, with the Benoit, Jordan, Jenna drama.
Yes.
And I have an editing thing to talk about here. When we saw him get mad, Jordan, and he was chilling out with Joe. And he got mad because he was watching them. He wasn't watching them kiss. There's no way you could see them. He was watching them just play Frisbee for sure. But he got that mad at watching them play Frisbee, which I was like, whoa.
Oh, yeah, there was some creative editing there. Cause
yeah.
It looked like the angle they were showing.
But he was looking over them for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I feel
sure.
that. I feel that. So yeah, but yeah. All right. Sure. I feel that as well.
And also, I tweeted about it, and I got some response. The editing in this first episode, the second one I didn't notice as much, but the first episode, they were bopping back and forth between days, and I found it very confusing. Because I'm like, when did any of this happen? So I found that a little confusing this time.
Yeah. Yeah, they've been doing that a lot more this season. It seems
way
like.
more.
A lot of like taking stuff from day 4 and putting it like it's on day 5.
Well, because it all takes place over 48 hours.
Well, as we found out, this has only been the first week of shooting the show up to this point, basically, which is
amazing.
It's pretty crazy.
Wow, crazy.
Here comes
solid couples have been together at this point for 2 days.
And you know how you pointed out on a previous episode how they're forever telling us who the couples are?
Yeah.
Like after every commercial break, they get a different cast member to name
to run
all
it down.
the couples.
Every single time.
Now
and
we've
it's
got
like,
this person and this person.
And you know what? It'll be like 1 or 2 left. Honestly, that's how it always works out.
Yeah.
People are going to break up.
Yeah.
We see it happening in the preview.
I love how
this week.
Annalise and Camille have been together for literally 1 day, and Annalise is like, we're one of the strongest couples here.
Yeah.
We're getting married, I think.
Yeah.
We already own a house.
I'm obsessed with
poor
it.
Annalise.
I'm obsessed
I think that is exactly one of my notes in this.
Poor Annalise.
Oh my God, my bangs.
Your bangs are looking wild. It's great.
It's too hot.
Yeah.
Too hot.
Check out the YouTube. You got to see our hair.
Yeah, you got to see
Andy
it.
looks fine. Maggie and I having a rough go.
Okay, a new arrival? Connor.
Right, yeah,
Rock hard Connor.
And, no one likes Connor, except for, maybe it seems like...
Crystal.
And my favorite part of that was when, like, Chris is watching Crystal talk to him, and then he runs into a hammock and spills his drink.
Yeah.
And then Joe says, the goose is loose.
That's very funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now do you like Grocery George?
Grocery George. I do like the goose is loose.
Yeah.
I like that comment, certainly.
He's a cool guy.
No, you know what? I'm more in on Joe than I think I've ever been.
Well, this was a great Joe week.
Yeah.
This was a very good Joe week. Yeah,
so for this date that he ended up going on with Crystal, I'm pretty sure this is why he tweeted this. Little sad little goosey Chris tweeted, "This sucks."
Having to watch them go on a date.
Yeah, but think about it.
That makes
it's
them
like
think
he doesn't know
together.
about it. So if they're still together and he's watching her have a very animal that was a primal date.
Yeah.
They were walking at each other like they were like lions.
That was weird.
And it was very weird, and I felt the sex.
You felt the sex, did you?
I thought
you
it was
could feel their sex.
super embarrassing date.
Yes.
Except for then they kissed in the ocean, which pretty good.
Pretty good.
Seemed pretty sussy to me.
I was watching that in Outlander that night, and I was like, whew.
Sussy night.
A sussy night for Sarah on the couch.
I don't know what that is.
Outlander is this very sexy show for moms. Basically.
Pure
It's
shout outs
pure
to my mom.
softcore porn, basically.
Is it?
Yeah, like there's just tons of sex.
That's right after you said shout out to your mom.
Shout out to my mom who loves that show.
Yeah, but that's
and who's
the
been
thing.
reading those books forever.
They're like almost romance novels.
My mom also used to read like Harlequin romance novels.
Yeah,
okay. Well, you know what? Everyone loves it.
Yeah.
Hey man,
you know
get yours, mom. Whenever
you know,
wherever you want.
So Outlander, I'll say quickly, is about a woman who goes through. She's in like present day
45. Rundown of
No, I'm just gonna say what I'm doing. 1945, and she goes back in time like 200 years and falls in love with a guy there.
From like Braveheart, basically.
Yeah, stays there for 3 years, comes back, and then it's like her coming back into the real world with her other husband. She had married this other guy in the past. So what I keep doing as a nerd, all the sex stuff is basically in like the old times. I keep fast forwarding through the part just to see how she's integrating back into society.
Yeah,
so
right.
I'm missing all the sexy parts.
Yeah, right, you are.
My mom tried to get me to read those books, and I was like, no thanks.
No thanks. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I wrote about Kendall because there's so many discussions for Chris about that he's having about feeling so awkward,
Mm-hmm.
or about feeling so sad that Crystal's picking somebody else, and like Kendall's just sitting there listening with she's sitting there sometimes with Joe,
Yeah.
sometimes with Leo.
Yeah.
Like, I did it too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I thought
Brutal
the
for
same
her.
thing, actually. It's a
Yep.
good point. Like, she's just sitting there like, yeah, okay, I
Yeah.
guess. Like, how did none of that hit her?
I
Like,
bet it did, and she just didn't want to talk about it. 'cause
Yeah,
it's awkward.
exactly. Didn't it hit them?
I'm not gonna
like,
bring it up and be like, "Wait, I did that."
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
No way.
I just
I'm
be
gonna
like,
look
"Oh,
at the
it's
floor
fine."
and be like, "If I leave, it'll be obvious." So I'll just look at the floor
Yeah.
and make sure no one talks to me about this.
Yep. Then
Anyways.
back to poor old Jenna can't stop kissing two men that I think would be very easy to stop kissing.
Yeah.
Benoit and Jordan. Like, she can't resist Benoit.
And
I don't
Benoit's
know.
like
Is
a hoot
Benoit
to make fun
sexy? Is he
No.
a sexy guy?
of. No.
Not to me.
You
I
know
didn't
why?
think so either.
Maybe if you've never met a French Canadian.
Yes, I think not that French Canadians aren't sexy. I think they are, but I think he's just like this guy who. Here's the thing: Benoit's fun to make fun of, but I found him to be kind of a dick in this. He keeps swearing and he keeps being like kind of
listen.
aggressive.
Yeah, Benoit's never been the coolest
But I
guy.
didn't mind him before. Like he was
No,
just
no.
fun and fun to make fun
Sure.
of. But this is the first time when I'm like, I don't think I
Yeah.
actually like him.
He's just very intense. It's
Yeah.
just too much.
He's saying
Like,
he
the-
deserves all this
The
stuff.
pushing down of Jasmine onto the bed was
in
like
his
a
season.
real red flag,
Yeah.
I think. And like we're seeing it play out where he's like very intense physically, and like Jenna's into it, but like, which is fine, but like it's too much. And I think and that's where she comes to the conclusion of like, oh, like Jordan talks to me, at least, right? Whereas
There was
like
this-
Benoit just wants to make out all the time.
There was this weird moment too, and it's it's their thing, it's their story. But when she went and she talked to Jordan for like an hour, and then she went back to Benoit, and then she was like, "I don't want to kiss anyone."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then he kept kissing her. I was like, "No,
But
man."
then she
But
But
she's
then
drunk.
she did.
But she did say she didn't want to. And
Yeah.
again, it's her
Yeah.
thing, and she could have stopped. But it felt weird. I was like, Benoit,
I
lay
agree.
off.
I agree. It felt
She's
weird, but then
asked you-
she kept kissing him and
But
was
then
like, "Okay,
he
one more."
complained to her that she was the one making confusion. When it's like, you're making advances as much as she is. She's told you everything.
But it's
So you
confusing
know.
when like she says she doesn't want to, and you're like, "Are you sure you don't want one more kiss?" And then she's like, "Yeah, I do."
But
You know what I mean? That's
But he
that's
didn't
also
say, "Are
confusing.
you sure?" He just
no, I
started
know, but
kissing.
I agree.
I don't know. It was a weird moment. I would have.
I agree. It was a weird moment, certainly,
She
and
was wasted
and I
doing that.
think
You could tell.
I agree it was a weird moment. I think any normal person probably would have taken that as she doesn't want me to kiss her right now. But Benoit is so intense that he was like, "Are you sure?" Basically.
Wait, how was he? For real, though.
Oh, he was probably all like,
Benoit, I just think I don't want to kiss anyone.
"Well, what if we have one point in common where we kiss?"
I guess that would be
It's
a
a
point,
point in common, and
we
Oh.
kiss. Well.
Oh,
Oh, they're kissing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think he's a bit weird.
She was into kissing him because then she kissed him so much.
She did, but that was after it, before, whatever. It's
Yeah.
very confusing how they've edited it.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't even edited. It was just,
Yeah.
She just kissed him so much after that. Anyways.
Then we had to say goodbye to Kenny.
Yeah.
Again.
It happened again.
Again.
I can't
I don't think
believe
Kenny
it.
should be on the show.
No.
I'm
He
gonna
can't.
read to you what
Kenny
he
can't
wrote.
leave the country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like your daughter has a recital. Like, hey man, sure,
cares?
be there for your daughter, absolutely. But I'm even positive at this point. Kenny's daughter is like, "No, Dad, please go find love.
Yeah.
Please get famous on this show.
Yeah.
Please don't worry about this fucking recital."
He wrote a big thing on Instagram saying he had turned down Paradise last year and he wasn't ever going to do it. And then he's like, and then you go through a year of being a dad, doing the same things. And here, I'll read it to you. It loaded. I understand the questions. I get why you're mad. Why do you keep doing this? Truth is, I wasn't going to. I didn't do Paradise last year, and I saw no reason to do it this year. I knew Mackenzie had a dance recital she had been working hard on all year. The problem was, a year later, nothing changed. Still single, work, daddying, rinse, repeat. Then I was offered a chance to potentially find love with a group of wonderful people in a beautiful place. Single parents don't get many chances to find love. We put our whole selves into our kids, and 99% of the time we come last. So I tried to put myself first, knowing that deep down, if it came down to it, I knew what I'd do. It came down to it, and I did it. I put Mackenzie first 10,000 times, 100,000 times. And when you see this vision of beauty dancing to Purple Rain, you'll understand why.
Aw.
Paradise was great, and so are all of you. I'm sorry if I disappointed you, but this little girl's love means everything to me. And then you see the video of her rehearsing. It's like, it is quite nice.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, after that, I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's how I felt. I read it and I was like,
But just don't
whatever.
come on. But don't come want anymore because
Yeah, just don't bother anymore.
Yeah, because you know what? I bet even just for like the logistics of it, they're like, oh, we gotta get a flight ready before we thought again. Like,
I gotta book this guy a last minute flight back to the dance recital. Okay, well, there we go. Yeah. You know what? That's fine. That's cool. And then, like,
also,
what?
like-
Were him and Annalise gonna get together? Really? Come on.
no,
They were
but
both
she-
cheesy though. They're
She
both...
was already buying the house.
Oh my god, they're both pure cheese balls too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, it's probably for the best.
Yeah.
In reality. So.
But
great.
then Annalise once again heartbroken until
Until
comes.
anyone else walks by.
I'd say
Well,
a
it was-
few hours later.
Yeah.
I feel like 10 minutes, and
Yeah.
then here comes Camille. Ew, 60-40.
Oh,
Gross.
60-40.
Gross.
Yeah, not interested.
And
But
when he was like, I wouldn't say that to anyone in real life. It's like, but you'll say it to someone on national television
where we can all
where you
see.
can plan what you're going to say.
yeah, like when he was like, oh, I just kind of thought it was funny. It's like, all right, okay, I'll give you a pass on that. Obviously I don't think it's a very cool thing to say, but like he was like, if he legit just thought it was kind of funny and was like, I didn't think it was going to be that big a deal. Like, all right, learn your lesson though. You know what I mean? Now
This
learn your lesson.
Brought up a game in my mind that I'd love us to play right now, and I was thinking about it because I was like, he had such a bad first line,
Terrible.
Becca, and
One of the worst.
We may have played this game before, but it was a while ago and I can't remember. What would our thing be to the Bachelor or Bachelorette
Ugh.
when we saw them? What would be, because you got to do something now. You got to be memorable, but what would you do? It's so hard because also, just while you're thinking, I'll explain some other brutal ones. Grocery George, Grocery Store Joe, he had a brutal one. He got so nervous. I don't even know what he had planned. So what do you think you would do? I know I would have a prop. I know I would bring some prop and I would screw it up immediately.
Yeah.
I am not good with this stuff. Whenever I would try to do a prank at Second City on Saturdays, you're allowed to do a prank for the rest of the group. I laugh so
Are you,
hard
like,
I could never.
technically allowed, or is that like
No,
the
you're
tradition?
technically you're allowed though.
It's like a
Nobody
tradition,
cares. Yeah,
right,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It's not like do it, but
Yeah,
you're allowed to do it.
Yes, yeah.
But you're not supposed to do it any other days.
Sure.
So every Saturday I would plan a prank and it would never work.
Never work.
I would always laugh too hard and then they made a tally of how many prank fails. I
And
had like
also,
7 to 10.
I mean, without getting into too much detail, also, like, you told me what those pranks were planned out to be, and, like, they're barely pranks.
Oh,
some
one
of them.
time I put a mole on my face.
That's it.
And I
That's
came
it.
out as this character and I was just laughing so hard and my castmates were like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, it's not screwing this up. You have a mole on your face. So what do you guys think you would do? What would be
Okay,
your
I got it.
Okay, great.
I would. God,
It's perfect.
don't watch the YouTube.
No, watch
Watch
the
the
YouTube. It's
YouTube for sure.
fantastic.
I would bring a fart machine for sure, man. Just
Bring a fart machine.
and then be like, I'm so embarrassed, or like really act embarrassed, and then be like, just a trick,
Just a trick?
just a joke around. See you inside.
Wow.
I'm Maggie, by the way.
Oh, you forgot to say your name, Maggie. Oh, my God, a huge blunder.
Okay, so
but I guess what? I love the fart machine. I think it's great,
So I know what
actually.
I would do.
That's killer.
I would walk
Oh,
up.
I wish I could have something as good as fart machine.
You
Damn.
could, you could use it too.
No. I
So
gotta
I'd
think
walk
about it.
up.
I mean, in real
You're
life.
the Bachelor, Andy, okay? Hi, my name's Sarah.
Oh, hi. Nice to meet you.
What's your name?
My name's Andy.
Well, how about for a minute, we're 2 different people. Here's a wig.
Okay.
And I'm going to put on a wig.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Great.
that is your
Yeah.
real
Hi.
life.
And this is us when we grow old together.
Oh, so we're still the
Oh.
same people. You
Oh
said
my
we were
God.
going to be different people.
Did I say I gotta go inside?
I'm Sarah.
Please take your wig.
Oh, you already said
And then I'm just stuck in a wig because I've ruined my hair, overheating for the rest of the night. That's what
So
I'll do
drunk.
for sure.
So
So
your
drunk.
real hair comes out.
Sweat dripping down
That's
my
what's
face.
happening to me if you're watching YouTube. It's just a wig. It's
Certainly
just a
isn't.
wig.
It's her actual hair.
It's just a wig.
So Andy, what would you do? Give us.
Oh my God, it's so tough. I don't know. Those are such really, really good ones. You know,
Really?
honestly,
Fart
no,
machine and
I really
wigs?
think fart machine and wigs are 2 like real hits. Like,
Yeah,
I've never seen
they
anything
are.
that creative on the show.
Fart
It's always
machine's
like
so good.
it's always like coming in on some sort of vehicle or animal or wearing a dumb costume, and like those are the best ones.
Honestly, fart machine is good.
Fart machine is great.
someone would because they'd be like shocked.
Yeah.
And it would really break them. They'd never forget that. People
Yeah.
don't expect women to
Fart.
Yeah, and I'm being silly and like ruining my hair. Like people don't. That's why Alexis had such a big thing because she was in a costume and
Yep.
women they
But
don't expect to
she
do
did
that
think
kind
that
of
was
stuff.
a dolphin though.
Yeah, I mean, a
Yeah.
bit of a doyo, but doesn't mean she didn't do
You
it.
know what? I don't know, man. I think I just load up a super soaker of mustard and let her rip.
Oh
whoa.
no!
No good? No
On
good?
yourself.
On them for sure. All over the new dress.
And forget to say your name.
Hey. I'll see you inside.
Okay.
That's it. See you inside. Can you imagine? Oh my God. I'd be on Bachelor in Paradise for sure from that, though.
I think.
Yeah,
right?
Mustard Man.
It's the mustard guy.
Yeah, it's a mustard
Can you
guy.
believe they let this fucking asshole in paradise?
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what they'd say.
I love
That's
it.
what they'd say.
That's what they'd say. And then they'd be like, Wig and Fart Girl showed up.
It's Fart Machine.
It's Fart Machine.
They just call you Fart Machine.
They would.
and wig. And then for Paradise, I would wear a wig, but
Yeah.
that was so close to my actual hair, so no one would know for
actually
sure.
know. Like, is this a wig?
No.
Oh, okay, because it looks really good. Like, it looks
Thanks.
natural.
Great, it is.
Oh, so it's not a wig.
No.
Oh, okay. And then you look at them like that, and they'd be like, it is a wig, I think.
All
Okay.
right. Then next comes this weird thing with Kevin and Astrid.
Yeah.
Where he just, for a moment,
Seemed like he was shit.
he seemed like he was shit,
But then he was a dream.
Yeah, he was nice because he
Yeah.
he just because he's been hurt.
Yeah.
He's been hurt, and my
Twice.
favorite line was, "Some people do this for Instagram, but I'm
Yeah.
34. This is real
don't care
for
about
me.
this
Yeah,
shit."
I don't
Yeah.
care about this shit." And I was like, "Wow!" And I just felt it was such a natural feeling to have in this situation of everything's rushed. It's a bit of a roller coaster. But here's the other thing: is like it has been 7 days, but they're spending so much time together. They see each other constantly, which is kind of rare when you start dating someone. I mean, we've all been in relationships like that, and it is a roller coaster, and things do happen very fast.
Yeah.
So he's worried that it'll happen, and it sounds like, which I didn't realize, the Ashley thing really threw him for a loop.
Yeah.
And he is a softie, right? Like he's got a big heart.
And
so.
what was the Canadian Bachelorette?
Jasmine.
Right? He thought he was going to marry her. He
Yeah.
thought something was really going to happen between him and Ashley, and then nothing. So of course now he's like, oh no, now I really feel for another.
The voice is thick.
I thought it would have happened, but then it broke my heart again, and I don't care about Instagram.
I don't care about Instagram, but you know what? I go to therapy, man.
I know, twice
It's more in the
a
back of your
week.
throat.
It's more back here.
Well,
Yeah, I
you
go to
have
therapy.
a
There you
deep
go.
voice. We don't have deep voices.
Yeah, you
sister.
do.
I can do it.
Yeah, you can do. That's it. There you go.
Hey, I go to
See?
therapy.
You can do it.
Forget it.
Try it.
Anyway, so what I want to say here is, Kevin gets real here. He explains himself well because it was a weird thing to say for sure.
100%.
And Astrid is rightfully upset and all that, but they work it out. Of course, great. I love that Bachelor in Paradise is oddly enough showing us the more real side of most of these people than we saw on their actual seasons of The Bachelor, Bachelorette. Like, we didn't like Kevin on
I didn't
Bachelor
like
in
him at
Canada.
all.
didn't.
It is a full 180.
Yeah.
I didn't like
Kevin,
him at all.
and it's not like he was like a major asshole or anything like that. He just
No,
was
his
like,
mom was.
yeah, his mom was pretty brutal.
Watch out.
And he just wasn't the most likable person on the show. It was
Watch out, Anne.
Mikhail. What'd you say?
Watch out, Anne.
Is that her name?
Astrid.
Oh my God.
Hashtag watch
out,
Anne.
Anne.
I
Can
was
everyone-
hoping that no one would hear
Can
that.
everyone please tweet at Astrid? Watch out, Anne. Oh man. But I just love truthfully, Winter Games also did this for Kevin, but we're seeing the real Kevin here, and he's just a fucking great guy.
Yeah.
And I got the same thing as for Crystal.
Yeah.
How is Crystal this cool person? She was terrible in that show. And I know we've talked about it briefly before, but I just think some people just in this competitive situation, they don't thrive, and that brings out the worst in them.
Well, and I think it's also somebody, our friend Alana did this impression of our other friend Anessa. Anessa is intense, but she is the loveliest human. She's so positive. If you listen to our podcast, some of you maybe are Dancing with Comedians. Is that Anessa?
You're briefly,
But
yeah.
on this show, she would be nuts.
Yeah.
She would be like, "Tell me how you feel about me."
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I love you. You better love me too. Take me on all the dates.
So it's just a situation that not everyone thrives in on the regular Bachelor Bachelorette, and this is much more laid back. You're not just competing. Sure, there's competition, but there's lots of people to hang out with and everything. Anyway, so I just think Kevin, Crystal, there's even a couple others are jumping to my and True Colors coming out. Leo seemed totally cool and fine on his season, and then we find out he's the fucking worst.
Yeah,
he's a fucking monster.
I definitely wrote that he was a monster.
Okay,
He's a
so
monster.
let's get into
Anyways,
the nuts and bolts of it all.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because you know what? This is right about the time.
Great.
Well, first though, don't forget when Jenna finally says to Benoit, "I picked Jordan," and then what does Benoit do? Plays football with a C.
Plays football. I tweeted about it, and because Benoit was shitting on Jordan, understandably, but I was like, I don't know, Benoit. I didn't see Jordan playing football with the ocean.
Yeah.
No, I said with a wave.
Yeah.
Because he just was like, he'd throw it so hard, and then he'd wait for the wave to give it back.
Yeah.
And then throw it so hard and angrily, and then just wait.
That's kind of cool, though, to be true.
Yeah, I was
Actually,
like, what a
I never
cool
thought
way
of
to
doing
play
that.
football.
That sounds really cool to me. Yeah.
You're by yourself.
But
Great tip. Hey, great summer tip.
Great summer tip.
Great summer tip.
Play
Also,
football with the ocean.
you looked really sad, Benoit.
Yeah, very sad.
Yeah, if you're sad and you're
Play
at the
football with the
ocean,
ocean.
play football with them.
And also, I wanted to mention briefly before we get into the Kendall Leo stuff, a very unceremonious goodbye to Jubilee.
That happens all the time on Paradise. It's
So
happened before.
weird.
Oh my god, I know that.
They're just like, oh, and also by the way, Jubilee left.
Really
in like a weird
And who was the
flashback
other
scene.
person that left right before
So
her?
bizarre.
Somebody left right before her, right? Kenny,
Yeah,
and then
Kenny.
Jubilee.
And
Yeah,
we did know Kenny left, but I didn't know. I was watching when they were like, John has no one. I was like, wait,
What? Yeah,
Yes, he
because
does.
Jubilee left. Brief flashback of Jubilee just leaving.
Well,
Because
and
he
also-
told her. I mean, I don't know.
it's
Anyways,
weird.
whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't really break it down too much because they showed us about 2 seconds.
I saw
of it.
an article complaining about how little they showed that.
Yeah, I would have loved to see that. I
Yeah.
mean,
Who
I
knows?
guess. I don't know. Maybe not. Anyways,
But I
Here
guess they
you-
were getting ready for this.
So then Kevin does the big reveal and tells Kendall that Leo kissed
Yeah.
Chelsea.
Yeah.
And what I love is Eric and Kevin, people go and get their advice.
Yeah.
There were 2 times where someone's like, what's her? Crystal went to Chris. She's like, I'm gonna go talk to Eric, and Chris like, yeah, like he knows what she's gonna do.
Yeah.
And it was the same with Kendall and Joe. She's like, I'm gonna go talk to Kevin. He's like, okay.
Yep.
Like, and then he
Yeah.
just gave her this advice, and he said it. He really did say it in a way like he thought.
Oh
she
yeah,
knew.
it's
Oh, yeah,
very clear,
definitely.
very
Yeah,
clear that
yeah.
he had no clue,
No.
right? Like
He wasn't being a
as much as like.
I'm living for Kevin in this.
Yeah. Oh, I think
He's
we
really
all
right.
are.
We're
I
all
think
living
honestly,
for
Bachelor
Kevin.
Nation is living for Kevin Went right
Andy,
now.
I love you, but I
Yeah.
did get a boner when this all started
wow,
happening.
that's interesting. That's a new
Whoa,
development,
whoa,
physically
whoa,
speaking.
whoa.
But no, yeah, you could tell just from the way he was like, "Oh my god, I'm not the person to just tell you that, am I?" Like that's so brutal, and it is brutal that it had to come from this like slipped thing from your friend, thinking that you already knew. Like that sucks. So like, what do you guys think of the fact that no one mentioned it to her?
I don't think it was that much time. I think it had been like a
It
few.
probably
it had been
like
the night
it was
before.
the night before, right?
So maybe people were thinking of how to do it. Think about it.
Well,
When
he said
you
that
see-
Astrid was thinking about how to tell
Yeah,
her,
like
right?
so when you hear about
Watch out, Anne.
something, watch out, Anne. Hashtag watch out, Anne.
Yeah.
When you hear about something happening with a friend or a coworker about being cheated on, it's like you all want to tell them, but you definitely don't run to them right away. You think about like what would be the best way to do this?
Yeah.
How do I do
I
this?
don't
So
want to tell them.
I don't want to tell them. So I don't think it was that much time. And I also here's the other thing: if Kevin did know that she didn't know, maybe he's like she should just know, which is great too. It doesn't really matter.
She should know.
Like
Of
I
course
don't
she
think
should
he
know.
was
We all
being
should know
a
because
tattle
now-
or anything. I think he was just being like a tattle is when it's like I'm gonna gain something from this, and he wouldn't. He was simply trying to help somebody, which is like he has a good heart. His intentions are good. That is not tattling.
Leo's
That is
reaction to her finding out too was just like,
Oh.
"Can you believe?"
And then in the pool, who's the tattle? Tattle, tattle,
I
tattle.
want to tell
Flopping his
Kendall. Why don't
body.
we go tell Kendall about that? It's like,
Oh yeah, and
flopping
everyone's
his
like,
body. Like
Yeah, it was
he
just
switched.
like-
A
he
thing-
lost it.
And the thing is obviously, but just to say it, he only looks horrible. Like
Oh, yeah.
it doesn't. You're not getting at anyone. You're not scared. Everyone's like, I think in that moment everybody was turned off. Everybody
Well,
was.
Everybody.
oh yeah, certainly.
then-
he thought it was Joe, definitely, right?
He thought it was Joe.
Definitely thought it was Joe.
And then
But like, why wouldn't Joe tell her?
Yeah, did Joe know?
I think he
he
did.
did, but
Someone
he's like,
told
I'm gonna
Joe.
let
But he
that
said
play
he's
out.
like, I'm not gonna be that.
But you
that
know
person
what?
or
I
whatever."
think now he looks even better because when you are the other person, and at the time she was more into Leo, and you're like, well, he did this. It just sounds different.
I agree.
And I
Joe's the
think
one person
he
I
has
think
so much
it
common
wouldn't
sense.
have been great to tell her.
Yeah.
Right? Like he's the one guy that like, yeah, it's hard to not tell her, but like
He does not
it's
like
probably
drama
better.
until
Yeah.
he has to take care of something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We'll talk about that in a
Kevin goes. So he's trying to find something. You see him talking to everyone, and Kevin. I love it. I know it's a workout thing, but when you got those tights under the shorts, and it just makes him, I think it makes him look like a little kid.
No, he doesn't. She doesn't like it.
Oh, no, I think it makes him look like, I love it in the sense like it's very funny looking to me.
Yeah,
but I get it. It's something for working out. I don't understand it
either.
They're called compression.
Yeah,
but why then shorts over top? Because you don't want to see your privates.
Yeah, because it's too tight.
But I think it's so funny, just the look of it.
See it.
It's like when you see wrestlers with t-shirts and underwear on; they look like little boys.
I love when Pat is wearing underpants and a t-shirt. It's so cute.
It's so cute.
Give him a bowl of cereal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Watch some cartoons.
Give him a carrot.
What?
I don't know. Hashtag watch out, Anne. So then he goes up, and it was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was.
He said
because he just said he wasn't being defensive.
Not at all.
No. He walked up and he was like, "I said this," and then he was. I don't know about eloquent. His voice kind of makes anything not eloquent.
I said it, and I'm not interested in Kendall. She's just my friend.
And then Leo tried to change it at that point. He's like, "I think you were doing this to get me." He's like, "I don't know you. Like, I wouldn't be doing this." And it was just he just did it so perfectly.
Yeah, and I love that everything up to one point was just like, it was an accident. I didn't mean to say it. Like, I thought she knew because everybody on the beach knew. You know, like I'm not out to get you or anything like that. Like because at that point he probably thinks Leo's a decent guy.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to like. I'm not trying to like crush your game here. I'm not trying to mess up your relationship or anything like that. But then it comes out when he starts acting like an asshole. It's like, well, you should have told her that. Though.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not wrong to tell her. Like, there's that part comes out.
Yeah.
Whereas like if he was like, hey man, I was gonna tell her. Like I actually was gonna. Like if he was cool about it and was like, I was actually gonna tell her today. So like, but don't worry about it. It's fine. Like Kevin probably would have been like,
cool man. Cool.
And then he said why he did that because Trudeau.
Yeah, that's so good. Great to end with a Justin Trudeau quote.
Oh my god!
Great Justin
and
Trudeau quote.
It was a perfect quote because I empathize with because I am the same way. I'm like, I can have someone kind of chirping me, but if you try to push me around or take advantage of what's going on, then that's when I have my point and I'll yell. And he did that. And I was like, yeah, man, that's how I feel. I should just say that to people when they push me too far.
Write it down.
But you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of that moment in Love Actually when Hugh Grant has his big speech to the president. Yeah. And it's very similar, and it always makes me think of that.
We do gotta move it along a bit.
But anyway,
here,
so then that happens, and then he has his other conversation with Kendall, and I thought, as much as Kevin handled it great, she handled it even better. Like she had an answer for everything he was saying.
You just know from that. Remember the confrontation her and Crystal had on the 2-on-1, where Kendall was just being nothing but reasonable and nice and polite and everything. It's like she was doing the exact same thing here, and he just looked like a fucking
He was spinning
idiot.
around in circles. Spinning
around when he called her a liar, and she's like, oh no, he's like, was Kevin lying?
Actress.
No, he's like, was Kevin lying? He's like, well, no, just because he said he was lying. She's like, yeah, he lied. She's like, what did he lie about? Well, he didn't lie about that, but everything else. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
We talked about this last week with Chris, like gaslighting in such a perfect. Like, if you need a description of gaslighting, watch the clip of Chris talking to Tia, and watch the clip of Leo talking to Kendall.
Yeah.
But in such a messy, horrible way when he's like, oh, this really hurt my feelings. Like, no, you're the only one who did something wrong here.
Oh, yeah.
What would be
turning
so much
it back
better
and making you the
would
victim,
be like
unreal.
Listen, I thought this what Paradise was, but I really like you, and I screwed up. It would have been night and day difference, but he showed his colors, and wow.
Yeah.
And wow is right.
Yep,
yeah.
And wow. Yep.
Well, that's pretty much the end of the first episode, except for the great cheese conversation.
Oh, yeah. Great cheese conversation.
What cheese would you be?
What cheese would we be? We always have the bread scale. What cheese would we be?
I'm the white cheese at Subway.
Oh, man.
That's good cheese, man. You don't like that cheese? Trust me. They're offering me all those other cheeses, and I'm always going like, nah, man, give me the regular old.
I think
it's like a cheddar. It's like a white cheddar, basically.
I'm like a sharp cheddar. Yeah. I'm yummy but sharp.
I guess I'm cheese curds, nice and squeaky. Squeaky. Just kidding, I'm not. But I just had some cheese curds the other day, and I love them.
Yeah.
Squeaky.
I don't know. I'd have to think.
Sorry, what was that, Sarah? Oh, squeaking.
Oh, watch out, Ann.
Watch out, Ann. All
right.
Jose.
Let's move on here.
So episode 8 begins with Joe breaking up the Leo Kendall drama.
Yeah. Are
you
done?
Okay. Love it.
And then
he didn't say, "Hey, get away from her." He just was like, "I'm coming in here to stop this."
Yep.
And then
And then he was talking to her and comforting her because he's a nice and forgiving man, and she's so messed up. And what does Joe say to Kendall? You got to deal with being frustrated sometimes.
Joe, And then I thought about it. I'm like, that's true.
You do.
Yeah.
I need to use that in my own life, Joe.
Yeah, good call.
Thank you.
But the first stuff he was saying was like a little awkward in that he was just like, just calm down. It's not anything. It's nothing. It's like,
No, I know. You don't like to
it's
tell
not
people to calm
nothing,
down.
and all this, you
But
know.
I think he said
listen,
it was more hard.
that's what I was about to say. His heart's in the right place, certainly. And then, of course, he was really great. So
Yeah, I think he was more like, this guy sucks. He's nothing.
I think those are just those are just things that people say. Those are just normal things people say to try and alleviate, you know, any kind of stress. Because she was certainly very stressed out.
She was very stressed out. And then they kissed. And then, though.
They're boyfriend and girlfriend.
But then she kissed
Oh,
John.
yeah, that was weird.
John kissed her, and
But
she
she
was
kissed
like,
back.
she was thinking that, like, okay, I'm going to be into this because she wasn't sure about how she felt about Joe. Yeah, she knows she cares about him, but, like, she's not sure she wants to be with him forever or anything like that.
And then it clicked.
And then it clicked. Guess
Sometimes
what?
you need
She
to
was
kiss
thinking
someone
about
else.
Joe.
Like,
Yeah.
as much as that doesn't sound good. Oh, now look at my hair. As much as it doesn't sound good, we're a mess.
You guys are crushing it today.
Yeah, as much as it doesn't sound good to say, but sometimes a kiss shows you. I think Auntie and I experienced that. We, you know, we're still flirting with other people when we first started dating. And then we're like, we don't want to flirt with these people anymore. Let's just kiss each other.
That's true.
And now we're in the most love.
Yeah,
So
that's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was all kinds of other kissing going on.
Oh, we were kissing everybody. We weren't single for very long after our last relationships, but we made it like it wasn't long.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
We're both so into it. How creepy are we as a couple? Oh yeah, we both kiss people.
We're also the people who are like, imagine how fun it would be to be on this show, kissing everyone.
Maybe you guys need to.
Sarah said that to me numerous times.
Maybe you need to
Yeah,
have a
but
kissing
I-
open up.
No.
No.
No,
We
we're
like
just
kissing
kidding,
each other.
guys.
Do you want to kiss us?
No. Oh.
Oh, okay. Well, that's nice.
She got a sweaty face.
No, don't kiss me now.
Oh wait, you're also
All right, let's
I'm
sick.
move on
sick and
here.
I have
Let's
a
go.
sweat
Let's-
face.
let's
Okay,
keep
then
going.
poor old Wells has to watch the drunk drama between Benoit and Jordan.
Yeah.
Poor Wells.
And I also loved Wells being like, he didn't yell.
Yeah, there was no
Yeah.
yelling. And even Jenna said he didn't yell. But, like, she said he yelled, but then was like, well, no, it wasn't yelling. Like, you know, she clarified.
I have a question. At this point.
By the way, I just want to say I love Jenna.
Yes,
Jenna's great.
Jenna's great. What a
Yeah.
hoot.
Yeah.
Why are Wells
And Yuki there.
Yuki there? Because
They don't
honest-
use them for anything.
they used them. They used him more last season because they had
Oh,
like that
way
romance
more.
happening.
Yeah.
But he even when he is on camera is like,
Yeah, because he has to make the drinks.
and he's so exhausted. And I think they're having a bit of an awkward time because they don't speak the same language.
Yeah.
I bet Yuki's also like, I gotta try and like use my hands to explain
I
things.
bet that there's way more footage there than we give them credit for. I
Well, then
actually
let's
think
see
that
it.
well but there's all this drama which is like
Right.
the more important stuff. And like they're there in case stuff is boring so that they can cut to them, which I
Right.
think is what happened last season. Wasn't a great season. They cut to Wells a lot.
I need Wells talking about what's going on.
I don't need Wells talking about what's going on. I find Wells
I
obnoxious,
just don't
to be
need the
perfectly
puppets.
honest with you.
The puppets.
But I love Wells and Yuki together. I think that's a great combo.
Then I
It's
need
just
more.
too bad we don't get to see more of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, tropical.
Yeah, sure, tropical.
Sure, tropical. Then Benoit gets back in the saddle with Chelsea, he thinks.
Nah, come on, Benoit, you're too much.
Then Eric and Angela finally have a date. And at this point, I'm loving Eric. I'm
Oh,
living for
yes,
Eric.
yeah, at this
He's
point.
so fun. They have a very fancy date.
Yeah.
I think he's very fun.
Sarah even
but
mentioned at the
it's not
time, she's like, I
natural.
don't think he seems
Yeah.
he seems a bit put on.
It wasn't. It was like a lot of repeating words, like
Yeah.
cheese, and like,
Yeah.
ooh, I'm into this. I am into this, and it's like
It's a lot of convincing yourself
It's a
that
lot
you're,
of-
you're a
he
couple.
I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like he would say it once to convince himself and once to convince her,
Yeah.
and he honestly did it so much, and there was never a calm down moment. He was
Yeah.
always at 100.
Yeah.
And he's not always like that. And we saw him like that at first with Rachel, but then when he really liked her, we like.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about the show: we've seen a lot of these people when they're deeply in love with someone.
Yeah.
So we can tell when you're not. So him going on the date later on, I was kind of like, yeah, it makes sense. You're
Well-
still looking for a real connection here.
Well, let's not talk too much about them then, but except for what about that so big ice cream that showed up?
Waste. What a waste.
What
I
a
said.
waste. What a
Give it to
waste.
us.
But like that's too much ice
Too
cream.
much ice cream for two people. Half of it would have been too much. I am feeling a bit warm from my rosé.
But like that was like a what size of a bowl is that?
I honestly
It's a gallon.
didn't notice. I didn't even see that
It
part.
was, I said it was a waste.
Auntie, she said it was a waste. It was like a sink, like a large
It was a sink.
kitchen sink.
I was trying to think of the right term, and I said a gallon, but a sink.
It was way bigger than a gallon. It was like 10 gallons.
It was a sink.
Okay, well, that sounds incredible, and I wish I saw it now.
What? I have that down.
Anyways, I wasn't really paying attention to that part, because guess what? I was so bored by this date, I didn't give a shit about it.
But also, we were making cards for...
That's true.
Can we announce your announce? No.
No. Okay, fair enough. Way to make that real smooth, Sarah.
Maggie is having
Why would you do that on the show?
Maggie is having a great summer, and we made her cards about it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Really good friends. Great life.
But we also had a marker party, and I'm going to say, next time everybody watches Bachelor in Paradise, we will do it too. Let's all draw a picture of what we're seeing, and then post it, and hashtag it BachelorPod. Pics.
Hashtag.
That's a terrible hashtag. Why don't you hashtag it like drawing in paradise?
Drawing in paradise.
Draw paradise. Draw in paradise.
We're not in get to it.
Okay.
Now here comes Leo's big exit.
Okay, here we go.
And everybody hates him. They're all like, "Get out of here!"
Yeah.
Like everybody.
What do you do? Like what?
He just says they're all bullshit.
What kind of psycho is like, I'm gonna make a toast where I call out one very nice person and call her bullshit in front of everyone?
But also he's like, I don't all this surface shit or what. That's not exactly what he
everyone
said.
thinks he thinks everyone's full of shit.
He insulted the people who had already given speeches.
Yeah.
And then,
right away. Yeah.
Right
just being
away.
like, yeah.
And then he says something horrid. He is clicked off up there, and he needs help, and he should
Okay, Sarah.
And also, I thought he was gonna have a hard time saying groceries.
Oh
my God.
Okay. No, it's okay. Everyone has trouble saying it, I guess.
Grocery store Joe.
Well, he did though.
He did grocery store.
Like,
over there. Yeah. Like it really spilled out of his mouth.
Grocery is hard to say, I guess.
It's like he thought twice about saying the word bitch on camera, but then was like, wait a second, I'll just bleep it. So it's like grocery store just over there.
But they didn't bleep it, did they?
No, they didn't. No, because they don't need to.
Oh, also, in that tweet that he sent to Tanner, he's like, when I knock you out, I can look down on you and call you a beta. And it's like, I'm sorry, but you're not an alpha.
Yeah,
an alpha doesn't
need
say
to
those things.
No.
That is not how it works. An alpha is just a confident person who's fine.
Whatever. This guy's total trash.
But
and
even
honestly,
in this moment,
throw him
when
in the
Joe,
garbage forever.
quite a bit of a smaller dude, like physically, than him, comes up to him, he was scared. You could see that Leo was scared. He was like, grocery store.
The one thing I will say about this confrontation that happened is that when Joe and him were like nose to nose, and he's like, "Say it to my face," and Leo just goes, "Grocery store bitch." Like,
he didn't say it. He said it a little nervous.
No, he wasn't nervous. Listen, Joe is like not a tiny guy by any stretch, but like he's not as big as Leo. Like,
well, he's not like a stuntman.
Physically, exactly. Physically, Leo is definitely more intimidating than Joe. But hats off to Joe for getting up there and just being like, "Well, I'm going to stand up next to this guy and I'm going to say it, and we'll see what happens."
Yeah.
So what do you do when the guy actually says it? Like I like I've been in this situation before, and it's a tough decision to make. It's like, well, I just called this guy out and he called my bluff big time. If it was a bluff, and if not, it's like, well, I guess I got to hit this guy or push him or something,
you can't
right?
Hit people.
So of course, no. And Joe, I guess, doesn't do much. I think he maybe shoved him.
No, they grabbed him. They grabbed him before.
They grabbed him before he did anything, which is great.
And that guy that leaked.
Okay, and then I want to say this. So then Leo throws the drink like a fucking old lady from Dynasty, and then the craziest thing that's ever happened on the show on camera, I think, is that like security guard or like whatever he was, like maybe he was just like part of the like crew or something, leaps over Joe and the camera, it looks like, and lands on the other side of Leo and like tackles him down. Like, you go back and watch the clip of this confrontation.
It's insane.
Insanity.
We watched it
Where does he
twice.
come from?
I don't know.
He absolutely, like, he had to leap over at least one person to do that.
Because you know what?
Like, was he standing on a chair?
What we talked
was he like the boom operator standing on a chair, drops the boom and leaps over the guy?
The thing
it's
is,
crazy.
Andy made a point when we were watching it. If Joe fought him, he'd be off the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they definitely didn't want that to happen. Definitely. And I've never seen them, because usually if it's like, we've seen people get kicked off for fighting. So sometimes they don't care, but they cared this time. And they're like, we're going to do everything in our power to save Joe. It felt like, because everyone grabbed Joe. You know,
they grabbed him at the right moment. It seemed like because that's the moment. That's the fight or flight moment right there. He says the grocery store bitch, and it's like, well, I either like sock this guy or I push him or something, or I just stand there and look like an idiot, kind of, or just like give an insult to him or whatever. And yeah, they jumped in at the right moment, and or they edited it nicely.
Well, he had a huge double insult too, where he had just insulted Kendall and him, and it's like,
my God, you gotta go up. You have to go up. You gotta go up and be like, hey man, like that's not cool. But tough situation to be on TV and all that. But you know what? I think Joe handled it great. I gotta say.
Yeah,
you're really coming around on grocery jars.
Yeah, grocery jars.
Now let's get through this in 5 minutes. Let's do a fast, rapid end of the show.
Then the big question at the rose ceremony: who will Chelsea choose? Venmo John. A surprise. Goodbye to Connor, Chicken David, and a very sad Benoit.
Benoit too bummed out for this, honestly. You never had a shot. He's all like, I've been dumped twice. I've been dumped twice now. I never find love. It's like, you weren't together with Chelsea. She didn't dump you. What are you talking about?
Chelsea didn't dump you. Also, barely did Jenna. She was in a full relationship. 5 days when you showed up.
Yeah.
So
you smooched her for a day and a half. And anyways.
Hey, be lucky that you got some smooches in.
Yeah, you got some smooches in. You're a fairly memorable face in the cast, so that's a good thing for you, man.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Then here comes Olivia. Who's that? And then she has to pick but Venmo John because there's no one else to choose.
Literally no other person to choose.
And then they go to Quinceañera. Honestly, I was like, this is the best thing I've ever seen. What a weird date. Excellent. 10 out of 10. Some random quinceañera, and they're like, what are
I thought her
we
name was
doing here?
Karen. I thought the young woman's name was
Carolee.
Carolee. I thought it was Karen's quinceañera. But it wasn't.
It wasn't.
But they did look like they have a hoot. And then, though, quickly,
I would love to go to a
Chris
quinceañera.
shaming John. It's like, John's in no relationship. Don't call him a whore or whatever you called him. Oh,
Chris
disgusting.
is dirt shit.
He is dirt shit. And I actually never thought I would. I feel bad for Crystal having to be with him. It's like
Crystal's the best.
She's the best.
Crystal's
she was like
cool.
immediately when all that stuff happened with
back in on Crystal
with the
on this
saging
podcast.
and the crystals. I'm like,
yeah,
girl,
right away.
Yeah. Let's sage everything. Yeah.
And when he was like, look, I set up this yoga, and she's like, great.
What,
you want me to
work? I loved it. I know. And he was like sweating and like.
It was really funny.
She's into him insofar as like, I guess if no one else really cool comes by.
My tweet, that I really felt behind.
We only got 5 minutes here.
Okay, quickly. But everyone's saying if they get engaged, it's forever. It's for Instagram for a couple of months. Let's get real. Everybody wants to be the Ashleys and the whatever even before she got engaged.
What else we got here?
Okay. But she's in it to be on
Cassandra
People
shows
magazine.
Up.
What?
Then Cassandra shows up and asks Eric on a date. It was rough. Poor Angela. Eric, you're lying. We all know that weird conversation. He was like, I know last night I told you I wouldn't date anyone else. But then I woke up and I felt different. And then this woman came and so I took a date with her.
And if he had actually felt different and he had said something in the morning, I'd believe that. I'd be like, okay, whatever, you're in this weird whirlwind. Yeah. But no, she showed up. Oh, Grocery Joe, though. Bit of a knock off when he's like, you missed this and you walked out. When he was like, yeah, she's hot. She's got big boobs.
I know.
Hey, just tell him like it is. Regular old grocery store Joe over here.
Now you're into him.
No, not at all. I hate him.
No, you don't.
Not true. That's true. I'm into him.
Yeah, but you know what? So we saw the clips for next week. Ashley gets engaged. It looks like Kevin gets mad. I think that's editing.
I can't wait for the best part of next week.
Shoshana?
Witchcraft.
Yeah. Shoshana.
I love witchcraft.
What a weird thing.
But what a weird. It already looks so weird. It looks like
I feel like the producers are setting things up,
bullying her, and
it feels weird. I don't know how much you're gonna.
And it looks like that Australian guy's there. That had a thing with.
So they must have a rose ceremony, and then guys start showing up, and he's the guy, and it's like we're coming to the end. Here's my thing. I'm gonna be a bit rude. Okay. So a rude disclaimer. This is the point where I need some fantasy suites.
Okay.
And I need people to start getting down. Because
I think they've been getting down for a while.
But we don't know.
They
don't show it. Sure. They never do. But what are you talking about?
Sometimes they do imply more that they like.
We spent last night together. We've heard that.
Yeah.
I just want to know how many. Also, next Monday, 3 hours.
Why?
Does that mean the next day's only an hour?
Why? It's because of the. It's because there's such. The producers are like, we got an engagement that deserves a full hour of our show. It's like, no one gives a fuck about the engagement.
We all know about it already.
Who cares? Show it, sure. Yeah. Get in there and show it.
Maybe that's why Kevin's sad, because he's like, That's maybe what.
But I think
he is. I bet he is.
He's like, why would?
I don't want to see this.
Come on, why would you come bring this here? I'm having a nice time with Anne.
Watch out, Anne.
Me and Anne are having a good time, and then Elise comes over.
Elise.
That's Ashley. I'm just trying to change the name.
Okay.
Okay,
All
Rose. Okay,
All right.
Okay,
warm.
so our
Well-
hashtag, we will do it as well. I want to see what people come up with. Hashtag
Why don't I just
draw
show
in
what
paradise.
I drew for Maggie's card? Because that's kind of what what's inspired us.
Yeah, well, and I'm going to draw something during the
Sure,
episode.
you draw something else
I'm
as
going
well,
to
yeah.
be inspired by what I'm watching. Use some markers. Have some fun. Also, though, do we have any last guesses before we leave? Where do we think the amulet is currently?
Well, we've seen them in a lot of different places over the last week, and I think that there is one place we are not seeing a lot of, and I think that the amulet, we haven't seen it at all this season, which is strange. I think the amulet is in that one cavern with the water that they always go to on every other season, but they have not yet been to it once here, and I think it's because they don't want to tip Chris off that that's where it is.
I think that TV that they built, that's fake, is a portal to the world of the amulet.
The world of the amulet.
So if you can get through that TV when Kevin's not watching.
Kevin is the gatekeeper.
He's the gatekeeper of the TV. There's many amulets there.
Many amulets. Oh my god.
So you got to find the TV to get an amulet.
Well, the TV is just on the beach there, so that should.
But no, but Kevin took it.
Kevin built it.
And then he took it.
Anyways.
Well, I think this witch that's coming in, she might help us find
Yeah,
the
you
amulet.
know
might
what?
help
That is
find
a
the
very
amulet.
good point.
That's a very good point. Shoshana's really going to break this open for
The
us.
one thing I will say too, we had that hashtag about the headband. He didn't wear it once this episode.
No, you know
I
what?
guarantee Crystal said, "You look stupid.
Stop wearing that.
Stop wearing
Yeah.
it."
Good call. Guys, thanks everyone for listening this week. This was a fun one. Check us out on YouTube. Hit a little
Definitely
subscribe there if you want to see some very fun hairstyles this week. But until then, we'll see you guys not tomorrow. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Rose.
Bye. Watch out, Anne.
Bye, Anne.
Watch out, Anne. If you want to contact us, you can reach out to us on social media. We're at The Bachelor Pod on Twitter, and individually, we're at Andy Holbone,
At Glenn McCauley.
At Olivia McCauley.
At the Sarah Hillier, that's at sign THESARAHHILIER.
If you want to support the show directly, you can go to patreon.com/thebachelorpod and donate there. Otherwise, we're thebachelorpod@gmail.com for an email, and thebachelorpod.ca, that's our website.